Right now, someone is being tested by life, and that someone might be you. The pain you're feeling is not here to break you. It's here to shape you, sharpen you, and prepare you for a strength you don't yet realize you have. Every struggle carries a hidden lesson, and every setback holds the seed of a breakthrough. History doesn't remember people who had it easy. It remembers those who rose despite the odds. Today is about transforming hardship into hope, pain into purpose, and struggle into strength. Because your story is still being written, and its greatest chapter may be just ahead. Struggle is often misunderstood. We are taught to avoid it, to fear it, to see it as proof that something has gone wrong. But in truth, struggle is one of life's clearest signals that you are in motion. It appears when you step beyond what is comfortable and familiar, when you dare to reach for something more than what you already have. If everything were easy, there would be no growth, no transformation, no progress. Struggle does not arrive to weaken you. It arrives to reveal what you are capable of becoming. When challenges show up, they are not random punishments. They are questions life is asking you. Will you retreat or will you rise? Will you complain or will you learn? Every obstacle carries a lesson, but that lesson can only be discovered when you stop running and start facing what stands in front of you. Avoidance may bring temporary relief, but it also steals the chance to grow stronger. Acceptance, on the other hand, gives you clarity. It allows you to see the situation for what it truly is, not a dead end, but a test of character. Accepting the struggle does not mean giving up or pretending that pain does not exist. It means acknowledging reality without letting it define your worth. It is the moment you say, "This is hard, but it will not defeat me." In that moment, something shifts inside you. Fear begins to lose its grip, and determination quietly takes its place. Acceptance gives you control, because once you stop fighting reality, you can focus your energy on moving forward. Running from struggle keeps you trapped in the same cycle, facing the same problems again and again. But when you stand still and face the difficulty head-on, you break that cycle. You begin to adapt. You learn new skills, discover new strengths, and develop resilience that cannot be taught in moments of comfort. Each struggle you face and survive adds another layer of confidence, reminding you that you have overcome before and you can overcome again. There is also dignity in accepting struggle. It takes courage to admit that something is difficult, and even more courage to stay committed despite the discomfort. This kind of courage builds inner strength, the quiet, steady strength that does not need validation from others. It teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. Over time, these qualities shape not just your outcomes, but your character. When you accept struggle as part of your journey, you stop seeing it as an enemy and start seeing it as a teacher. You begin to trust that even in moments of uncertainty, you are being prepared for something greater. Each challenge becomes a step upward, each hardship a training ground. And one day, you look back and realize that the very struggles you once wished away were the moments that made you stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. Pain is one of the few experiences that every human being shares, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. When pain arrives without explanation or meaning, it can feel heavy, unfair, and overwhelming. It drains energy, clouds judgment, and convinces you that you are alone in your suffering. But pain is not meant to be a permanent residence. It is meant to be a passage. The moment you begin to search for meaning within it, pain begins to change its form. It no longer exists only to hurt you. It begins to shape you. Most people ask, "Why me?" when they are in pain. That question keeps you stuck because it has no clear answer and no forward movement. It pulls your attention backwards toward blame and frustration. A more powerful question is, what is this teaching me? That question opens the door to growth. It shifts your focus from suffering to understanding, from victimhood to responsibility. In that single shift, pain begins to lose its power over you, and you begin to gain power over your response. When pain is given purpose, it becomes fuel instead of a burden. The hardest experiences often teach the deepest lessons about patience, empathy, resilience, and inner strength. Pain shows you what truly matters. It strips away illusions and forces you to confront your values, your priorities, and your character. In those moments, you learn who you really are, not when life is easy, but when it is demanding everything from you. Purpose gives pain direction. Without direction, pain feels chaotic, as if it has no end or reason. With purpose, pain becomes a guide, pointing you toward change. It may push you to leave what no longer serves you, to set boundaries, to grow emotionally, or to pursue a path you were too afraid to take before. Many breakthroughs are born from moments of deep discomfort, because pain has a way of waking us up when comfort keeps us asleep. There is also strength that comes from realizing that your pain is not wasted. Every challenge you endure builds wisdom that cannot be learned from books or advice. It deepens your compassion for others and allows you to connect on a human level. When you turn your pain into understanding, it stops isolating you and starts connecting you to the world around you. What once made you feel broken can become the very thing that makes you stronger and more grounded.
Reframing pain into purpose does not mean pretending it does not hurt. It means refusing to let it define you or destroy you. It means choosing growth over bitterness and meaning over despair. Over time, you begin to see that the pain you survived did not weaken you, it prepared you. It gave you clarity, direction, and a quiet strength that comes from knowing you faced hardship and emerged with wisdom. That is the power of purpose, and that is how pain becomes strength. Real strength is rarely loud, dramatic, or instantly visible. It is not built in moments when everything is easy and predictable. True strength is formed in the quiet, uncomfortable spaces where you choose to keep moving forward even when there is no applause, no immediate reward, and no clear sign that your efforts are paying off. This is where resilience is born, not from one grand act, but from small, consistent decisions to not give up. Persistence is the ability to continue despite doubt, fatigue, and uncertainty. It means showing up when motivation fades and discipline is all you have left. Many people stop not because they are incapable, but because they mistake slow progress for failure. In reality, progress often works beneath the surface. Just like roots growing underground before a tree can stand tall, resilience develops long before results become visible. What feels like stagnation is often preparation. Every step you take during difficult times strengthens your capacity to endure the next challenge. Each time you push forward when quitting seems easier, you train your mind to handle pressure and your spirit to remain steady. This process builds inner confidence, not the kind that depends on praise, but the kind that comes from knowing you did not abandon yourself when things became hard. Over time, this confidence becomes unshakable. Persistence also teaches patience, a quality that is essential for long-term success. In a world that celebrates quick wins and overnight success, patience is often overlooked, yet nothing meaningful is built overnight. The leaders who change lives and shape history are those who stay committed to their vision long after others have lost interest. They understand that setbacks are not signals to stop, but invitations to adapt and continue. There will be moments when your efforts feel invisible, when no one notices the work you are doing or the sacrifices you are making. These moments can feel discouraging, but they are also the moments that define you. Persistence in silence builds character. It strengthens your ability to rely on your own belief rather than external validation. When you keep going without recognition, you prove to yourself that your purpose is stronger than your need for approval.
Resilience is not about never feeling tired or discouraged. It is about moving forward despite those feelings. It allows you to bend without breaking and to recover quickly after setbacks. Each challenge you persist through expands your emotional and mental endurance, making you better equipped for future obstacles. What once felt overwhelming gradually becomes manageable. In the end, persistence is the quiet force that separates those who dream from those who do. Ordinary people become extraordinary, not because they are more talented or more fortunate, but because they refuse to stop. They understand that every step, no matter how small, counts. And when you look back, you realize that the strength you were searching for was built every time you chose to continue when quitting was an option. Failure carries a weight that often feels heavier than it truly is. Many people see it as a verdict on their ability, their intelligence, or their worth. But failure is not a final judgment, it is feedback. It is one of life's most honest teachers, offering lessons that success alone can never provide. The moment you understand this, failure loses its power to define you and gains the ability to develop you. Success and failure are not opposites, they are partners in the same journey. Every meaningful achievement is built on a series of missteps, wrong turns, and imperfect attempts. What separates those who grow from those who quit is not the absence of failure, but the response to it. When failure is treated as an ending, it becomes discouraging. When it is treated as information, it becomes valuable. Each setback is a classroom, and every mistake is a lesson waiting to be learned. Failure reveals weaknesses that need strengthening and assumptions that need rethinking. It shows you where your approach needs adjustment and where your effort needs refinement. Without failure, growth remains shallow because there is nothing challenging you to improve. Learning happens most deeply when expectations collide with reality. Retreating after failure may protect your pride in the short term, but it limits your potential in the long run. When you choose to learn instead of withdraw, you reclaim control of the situation. You begin to ask productive questions. What worked? What didn't? What can I do differently next time? These questions transform disappointment into direction. They shift your focus from self-blame to self-development. Failure also builds resilience. Each time you fall and choose to rise, you strengthen your ability to handle uncertainty and pressure. You learn that failure does not destroy you, avoiding effort does. This realization is empowering. It teaches you that your value is not measured by flawless performance, but by your willingness to keep improving. Over time, the fear of failure fades, replaced by curiosity and confidence. There's also humility in failure. It reminds you that growth is a process, not a destination. It keeps you grounded and open to learning, even as you progress. Many leaders who inspire others speak openly about their failures because they understand that those experiences shaped their wisdom and character. Their credibility comes not from perfection, but from perseverance.
When you let failure educate you, it becomes a foundation rather than a fracture. Each lesson learned adds stability to your future efforts. What once felt like a collapse becomes the groundwork for stronger decisions and better outcomes. In the end, failure does not define who you are, it refines who you are becoming. And when you embrace its lessons, you realize that every setback was preparing you for a success built on understanding, resilience, and strength. Your story is one of the most powerful tools you will ever possess, yet many people treat it as something to hide. They bury their struggles, silence their pain, and avoid the parts of their journey that feel uncomfortable or imperfect. But your struggles are not stains on your identity. They are chapters in a larger narrative. They show where you have been, what you have faced, and how far you have come. When you understand this, your story stops being a source of shame and becomes a source of strength. Owning your story means accepting every part of it, the victories and the setbacks, the confidence and the doubt, the moments of clarity and the moments of confusion. It means refusing to pretend that your life has been easy or flawless. Courage is not found in hiding pain. It is found in acknowledging it and continuing forward anyway. When you speak your truth with honesty, you reclaim control over your narrative. You decide what your experiences mean rather than allowing others or past circumstances to define them for you. There's a unique power in speaking your story with courage. It allows you to process what you have been through instead of carrying it in silence. When struggles remain unspoken, they often grow heavier. But when you give them words, they lose some of their weight. You begin to see your experiences with clarity rather than emotion alone. This clarity helps you understand that what hurt you did not destroy you, it shaped you. Your scars are not signs of weakness, they are evidence of survival. Each scar represents a moment when life tested you and you endured. Honoring those scars means recognizing the strength it took to heal. It means respecting your own resilience and acknowledging the effort you put into moving forward, even when it was difficult. When you stop hiding your scars, you stop hiding your strength. Using your story to empower yourself also builds self-belief. When you reflect on what you have overcome, you realize that you are more capable than you once believed. Past victories, even small ones, become reminders that you can face future challenges. Your history becomes proof that you can survive uncertainty, adapt to change, and grow through adversity. This belief fuels confidence and encourages boldness in the face of new obstacles. There's also healing in allowing your story to exist openly. When you accept your journey, you release the need to constantly prove yourself or seek validation. You become grounded in who you are, not who you pretend to be. This authenticity strengthens your sense of identity and frees you from comparison. Ultimately, your story is still unfolding. The chapters of struggle are not the conclusion, they are the foundation for what comes next. When you own your story, honor your scars, and speak your truth with courage, you transform your past into power. You step forward not as someone defined by hardship, but as someone strengthened by it. There comes a moment in every journey when your growth stops being just about you. When you rise from struggle with strength and dignity, your life begins to speak to others in ways words alone never could. People notice how you carry yourself, how you endure, how you keep moving forward despite adversity. In that quiet observation, something powerful happens. Your resilience becomes a signal of hope, showing others that survival is possible even when circumstances are heavy. You may not realize it, but someone is always watching. It might be a friend, a family member, a colleague, or even a stranger who sees a reflection of their own struggle in yours. When they see you persist, they begin to believe that they can do the same. This is how strength multiplies. When one person rises, it gives permission for others to rise too. Your perseverance becomes proof that hardship does not have the final word. Becoming an example for others does not require perfection or public recognition. It requires honesty, consistency, and courage. People are not inspired by flawless stories. They are moved by real ones. They are drawn to those who have stumbled, learned, and continued forward with humility. When you show that growth is possible without denying pain, you offer something deeply human and deeply motivating. Your journey becomes a reminder that progress is not always dramatic or immediate. Often it's slow, uneven, and filled with doubt. But by continuing anyway, you demonstrate that progress does not require certainty, only commitment. This message can be life-changing for someone who feels stuck or defeated. Your example tells them that even small steps matter and that persistence is enough to keep hope alive. There is also responsibility in rising. When you recognize that your actions influence others, you become more intentional with how you live. You understand that giving up doesn't only affect you, it affects those who look to you for strength. This awareness can become a powerful motivator, encouraging you to stay grounded in your values and focused on your purpose. Your discipline becomes inspiration, and your consistency becomes guidance. As you rise, you also create a legacy, not one built on status or success alone, but on courage and resilience. Your story becomes a living example that challenges do not disqualify you, they prepare you. It teaches others that their current pain does not limit their future potential. This legacy extends beyond words, shaping attitudes and mindsets in subtle but meaningful ways. In the end, turning struggle into strength is never a solitary victory. It creates a ripple effect that reaches far beyond what you can see. Your resilience becomes a light in someone else's darkness. Your perseverance becomes a reminder that giving up is not the only option. And your journey becomes living proof that no matter how dark the moment, there is always a path forward. So stand firm, keep moving, believe deeply that what you're facing today is building the strength you'll need tomorrow. Because history is shaped not by those who avoid struggle, but by those who rise through it.